The Lies About Tithing, Part 2. Many institutional church leaders claim that Jesus taught tithing, often pointing to his reprimand of the Pharisees in Matthew chapter 23, verse 23, and Luke chapter 11, verse 42. In these passages, Jesus criticized the Pharisees for tithing mint, anise, and cumin, while neglecting the weightier matters of the law, justice, mercy, and faith. These leaders emphasized Jesus' statement that the Pharisees should have practiced the more important aspects of the law without neglecting their duty to tithe. What these leaders often fail to highlight is that Jesus confirmed tithing as a practice specifically tied to agricultural produce by mentioning items like mint, anise, and cumin. Even in Malachi chapter 3 verse 8 to verse 12, the focus is on food in the storehouse, not money. Deuteronomy chapter 14 verse 22 to verse 29 and Deuteronomy chapter 26 verse 12 to verse 13 further explain that tithing was an agricultural practice where the tither would eat their own produce as part of the yearly feast. Only in the third year, the holy tithe was the tithe given to the Levites, strangers, widows, and orphans. Additionally, Leviticus chapter 25 verse 2 to verse 5 reveals that every seventh year the fields were to remain fallow, meaning no sowing, pruning, or harvesting occurred. As a result, there would be no tithes even in the seventh year. In some cases, there might even be no harvest in the eighth year, as certain crops requires more time to bear fruit. Tithing was therefore an agricultural celebration reserved for farmers to honor God's blessings over the land He had given them. It was never a practice meant for workers or merchants who owned no farmland. In contrast, the early church operated differently. In 2 Corinthians chapter 9 verse 7, believers are instructed to give as they purpose in their own hearts, not reluctantly or under compulsion, because God loves a cheerful giver. Verse 12 to verse 13 clarifies that these collections were meant to help brothers and sisters in need. Similarly, in 1 Corinthians chapter 9 verse 14 and Galatians chapter 6 verse 6 encourage believers to share their blessings with those who teach and spread the gospel. Nowhere in scriptures do we find a command that requires Christians to give 10% of their income to a church organization. Instead, giving in the New Testament is characterized by generosity, gratitude, and a care for others, not by obligation or a fixed percentage. Like and subscribe for more 2-minute biblical rebuttals.